This is Oba Babatunde from SWAT. Why's it taking you so long to get to us?
Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today we're going to be having a chat over Zoom with singer Sammi Constantine, who hasn't been on the show since May 2020, so we have a lot to catch up on. We're going to have a chat about her new single, 30FT, which stands for 30, Flirty and Thriving. Sammi, welcome back to Rave It Up. It is a pleasure to have you on again. It's been such a long time. How are you going today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, we were just talking about how long it's been. My gosh. Far out.
2020, when your song Mannequin came out. That was May 2020, so early on too.
Oh, wow.
The time
Wow.
has flown and you are like so busy since the last time we spoke. You're thriving. So good girl
Thank,
power.
thank you very much.
Firstly, like congratulations on your new single, 30FT, which stands for 30, Flirty and Thriving, guys. Check it out. And
Thank
you
you.
dropped it on your 30th birthday. So happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Except for the track, what else did you do to celebrate?
Well, my partner actually threw me a couple of surprise sort of parties here and there, which was really fun because I said to him, oh, I don't want to be disappointed. Like, I don't want to, throw a big party and then it not be good or people don't show up, which is silly. But he was like, yeah, you're right. Let's not bother. And then it was a surprise. So that was really fun. And it kind of ended up being like a bit of a half 30th, half kind of release party. So it was
Oh,
really fun. Yeah,
that's
it's very
cute.
sweet.
How
I
did you think no one was going to turn up to your parties? Come on, Sammi.
I don't know.
Oh, everybody loves you. I'm sure it was a really big party.
It was very fun.
And can I ask, like, why did you decide to title it 30FT instead of like the full title? I'm sure you've probably been asked that before. It's
I actually haven't been asked that. I've been waiting for it. No, I don't know. I think I just really wanted it to just be short. Like I just really didn't, for whatever reason, I just don't like long titles. And I thought it was also a bit of a talking point. Like,
yeah.
I get to say like 30, flirty and thriving. And, it's kind of, it makes people go, what does that mean? And it's a bit of a talking point, really.
Mm.
That's kind of, it's a silly reason, but that's the reason.
Plus it's unique. Instead of spelling out the whole thing,
Yeah,
as you said, it
unique.
makes people go, "Ooh, what's that? I
That's
got to
right.
click on that song."
Exactly. What
Yeah.
does it mean?
And something I love about the song and just love about you in general, that it's all about female empowerment, woohoo, and confidence and controversy. And your aim was like to challenge and shut down that stigma around ageism, especially in the creative entertainment industry. And yeah, I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you've always been about female empowerment, or do you think it's all come about since you've gotten older and also, tackling the industry as a woman yourself? Were you always like that when you were younger, though?
I think I've always been someone to question and challenge things. Like I kind of don't take like the obvious way as a yes, or I don't just kind of do things that make sense. I always have to either make it difficult or question it and kind of, I don't know, maybe it's the Libra in me, maybe it's the OCD, maybe it's all of it put together. I'm not sure. Probably how I was raised.
Yeah.
But I feel like in my music, I've definitely always liked to talk on, we'll say controversial topics. They're not always controversial, but things that I don't think a lot of people are really willing to talk about. And in the past, it was my eating disorders and my mental health and sort of this inward kind of look at what was going on and what people go through. And now someone actually said this to me recently, oh, you've kind of gone through these different stages, inward, whatever, outward sort of things. And they're right. This new era is very outward, and I'm talking about society, and I'm talking about all the things that I'm going through, as I get older and as I, become more of a woman and all of those fun things. So yeah, it's very intentional. It's very on purpose. But yeah, it's growing. It's kind of blossoming into more and more kind of fighting, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like I've solved myself now,
Yeah,
I'm happy with myself and confident. Now I'm gonna solve the world's issues.
exactly. And it's so easy.
Yeah, totally easier said than done, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that is something I love about you. It's like it's better to like actually write songs about these topics that, you know, are also not spoken about enough.
Yeah.
And you know, we, as you said, that stigma around it, going like, we probably shouldn't talk about that. And, you know,
Yeah.
let's put that on the shelf, leave it for another day. But
That excites me. That like,
yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
like, I'm gonna
no.
do it.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about it.
And I think that that's the only way to make it a bit more, not as normalized is the word I'm going to use there.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
absolutely. You said before, like approaching 30, that society started to place fear and failure into your thoughts, and I can understand that. You're like, oh my god, am I getting too old now? Like, where am I? What sort of fear and failure are you actually specifically talking about?
Honestly, I think so many people will realize that they've experienced these kinds of things when they look back on their lives, right? But for me, it was just like, well, first of all, it's the pressure of having babies and starting a family and having your life together, right? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of those things. I want to start a family, like, you know, I want to get married, blah, 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 blah. I'm not against any of that stuff. But it's the pressure of like, age is a limit. And if you don't do it, I understand physiologically that it gets harder as you get older. I'm not talking about that. You know, I'm more talking about the idea that like, if you don't do something by a certain age, then you're looked down on. And, you know, like in the workplace, there's a lot of like, oh, well, look, to be honest, we probably wouldn't hire you because you're 30 or because you're 29. You know, the whole having babies thing is something in the back of a boss's mind, right? And I didn't personally have that experience, but I know that a lot of my friends did, which is terrible. But what I did personally experience is quite early on in my music career, you know, I had offers thrown at me, right, for label deals and all those kinds of things, which, you know, as a new artist, you do get those things quite early. And then when they found out my age, all of a sudden these opportunities started disappearing. So I started my music career a little bit, we'll go later than everyone else. I think I was early 20s or something, or 19, which is already too old, right?
Which is crazy.
Crazy, because they want you to be 14, 15 so that they can mold you. And I was never going to let that sort of happen. And I just found it really interesting because the older you get, the more you realize how many people are looking at you like you're washed up and looking at you like, well, she'll quit soon. And it was just like, it was so evident the more and more and more that I was hearing about it and seeing it firsthand. And I could go on about it for a long time, to be honest, but there's a lot there.
And I'm sure that's probably a big reason you decided to go out on your own.
100%. Yeah. And I never signed any of them because I mean, I don't want that mentality around my project. It's music. It's got nothing to do with me, really. It's got everything to do with the lyrics and what I'm putting out and just the music. Like, it's not actually about what I look like or who I am. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And like, I agree with like when you said that word, like molding, when, you know, you're 14, 15, but then even when you're older than that, they obviously still want to control your music, your look, everything about that would be really difficult moving forward, and even trying to figure out who you are, right? Because you're like,
Exactly.
am I this person that they've just made me into, or am I completely different and this is just my look, you know, on stage?
Exactly. Yeah. And especially as a control freak, which I admit that I am, I was not letting that happen.
Yeah, more artists need to like have, I know it's like hard at the beginning because you're like, I want to get out there and they're giving me a deal and I've got to take it, but to have that bravery and that strength, I take my hat off to you. Like, oh,
Thank you.
good on you for like going out on your own and feeling strong enough to go do that. Yeah, so
It's definitely hard and it's not easy and it's very expensive, but at least I'm happy with what I'm putting out and I'm having fun, right?
got more freedom too. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah, it's all about that passion, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully we inspire more people today to do the same.
That would be a great goal.
Oh, hopefully. Well, the lyrics of 30FT are like an insight into some of the BS women are told. Yeah, we can all agree with that. Or even told about us when we, you know, reach certain age. You know, women can't do it all. That BS.
Yeah.
I wanted to chat to you about some of your lyrics in more detail, if that's okay. Thank you for sending me over the lyrics, because I was like, oh, okay, now I get to really dive deep. I felt like, you know, English homework. You're like, really dive deep. What's the inner meaning behind this?
I love that.
So, watch me be 30 and flirty and thriving. Big chorus. You must be out of your mind, talking like I'm out of time. Like, that's exactly what we are just talking about. Like, the whole certain age and being in your prime. And, like, even though you're thinking about all this stuff now when you're 30, I'm sure women will agree that, they're thinking about it when they hit 40, 50, 60, like,
100%.
yeah, every single decade. And, when you're looking at even artists, like I was thinking of like Madonna, for example, and
Yeah,
people like really ripping at her, going, no, you're too old to dress sexy like that. Like,
100%. It's like,
isn't that her
who
big?
are you to say that? Like, what?
I think she's still got a great body. What are you going on about?
Oh, exactly. That's the craziest part, right? Like,
Yes.
we only get hotter with age. We're like fine wine, just
Oh,
being
I like that phrase.
honest.
Fine wine, just
Yeah.
with age. And the next lyric, I just don't f with gatekeepers, rather lay with the big dreamers. That way, there's some kind of substance. Have you always surrounded yourself with those big dreamers like yourself? Do you find like when you're hanging with people that aren't, it kind of puts you down a little bit?
Yeah, that lyric was definitely a little bit on the angry side. It was a little bit aimed
I like
at
that.
like, yeah, it's industry gatekeepers, but it's also the cliques, it's the kids that like are in this is in every industry, right? This is not just the music industry, but it's the people that like sort of very much gatekeep what they know and they don't share with other people and they don't help other people. And I find that infuriating because I get so many messages on Instagram like, hey, Sammi, like, how did you do that radio interview? Like, do you think I could have the email? Hell yes, you can have the email, because why would I gatekeep an opportunity for somebody
Yeah.
when it's not a competition? And I just don't understand why there are these groups of people that think that it is better for everyone, them mostly, that they keep all this like opportunity to themselves. So like I do get it, but I don't, like I understand why they do it, but I don't like why they do it anyway. So, the whole surrounding myself with people that align with what I want to do is, being with big dreamers, because that's all we've got. A lot of us aren't going to be the 1%. We're not going to be, the Justin Biebers of the world. So let's just dream big and have fun. Stop making it a competition and, making everybody else feel less than, you
Yeah.
know?
I think a lot of people are going to realize success isn't like limited. Just because you have success, Sammy, doesn't mean I can't have success, and vice versa
Exactly.
for everybody.
If
How
anything,
we
we
helping?
if anything, we can help each other. And
Yeah.
that's what I think is the whole point of this.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite line has got to be, "Don't tell her she's got to eat less." Love that. Or sleep in the gutter to make it. That gave me goosebumps. I was like, I couldn't believe that line. I was thinking, how long did that take you to come up with that? It was so creative and just so on the point. So on the
Oh, this is like, I love that you're picking apart my lyrics, because I am a lyricist. Like, I don't even know if I write very good melodies, in all honesty. Like, I feel like I don't know if I sing very well. I don't know if I write good melodies, but I know that I write lyrics that make people go, what? And I love that. And so I'm so stoked that you're pulling this apart.
Hey, it's
Um,
like your baby, you
I
want to
know.
talk about it. I know.
I love it. And this is, yeah, it's really funny because honestly, that line was probably one of the first lines that came to me for this song.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah. And, as I spoke about before, the whole like, don't tell her she's got to eat less thing is sort of, I've had, I don't even want to say who they were because I don't want to call anyone out, but there were people, a part of my project at some point that were, knew I had an eating disorder and still said, well, don't eat too much because you don't want to get fatter. If you want to be an artist and you want to be on stage and you want to look like a pop star, you don't want to be overweight, things like that. And
Pop
that is
star.
one, stupid. I mean, beauty trends are all over the bloody place. So I don't know what looks good. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother issue.
Everything comes back.
Oh, but the point is like, I just think it's ridiculous that we need to look a certain way and then pretend that we're broke and that we just kind of came out of nowhere and, oh my God, we're a pop star.
Yeah. I went through the hard times to
Oh,
get here.
like, don't get me wrong. It is hard what we are doing, but we're not homeless and then all of a sudden we're pop stars. It just doesn't really work like that. There is a lot of moving parts and there is a lot of money being thrown into pop stars. I'm sorry. Like, so I'm just calling the BS.
That's very true. That actually gave me a whole nother meaning to that as well, what you just explained with that lyric. Oh, thank
Love
you.
it. I love
It's
it.
like it is another thing that you know, since we're talking about you putting things into your lyrics and your songs that people don't talk about a lot, that is exactly one thing that you were just talking about, whether that is the thing that, but even with your eating disorder, or even like for us women, something we struggle with on a daily basis, doesn't matter who you are or how old you are, the body confidence, the self-esteem with yourself. And you know, I think especially when you've got, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, even that beautiful cover artwork for your song, having to have photo shoots taken and always looking your best, is that really difficult? Because that photo was amazing, and I was like, oh my god, what does she do to work out? Like
Pilates.
Pilates. I love Pilates.
It is hard, but you know, I think there's two different versions of me, and it's funny because the photoshopped cover arts are almost taking the piss of like my whole project. Like I just kind of almost think it's funny because on every other platform I look like this and I look like a dag and I'm just a real person. It's the only time anything's really ever airbrushed, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit funny and a little bit ironic, but I don't find it hard because I don't really try that often to look a certain way. I'm kind of just me, and if people don't like it, then I don't really care. So obviously there was times where I did, but now it's just like, well, you know, this is a cover art and it's like it's meant to be fun and I'm meant to be feeling myself and all of that, and that is what it is. And then there's every other day, and that's fine. You know what I mean?
You're like, you can still eat your burger, fries, ice cream, things like that, and not feel bad. You're like, cool, yep, I've treated myself today.
Exactly. And then we go to Pilates and we feel good.
Yeah, I haven't done Pilates for so long. I really got to get back into that.
Reformer. Go to Reformer Pilates. It changed my
It's like
life.
the new thing. It's really just come back.
I love it.
Yeah. My mom had one way before they were in the gyms and everything.
I can imagine. Yeah, I've heard that too. I'm like, no, it's new. And they're like, you're not as old as you think you are. I'm like, okay.
It's a new phase, you know? We'll see how long that, like Zumba, we'll see how long that lasts.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other part of, there's a lyric, just like another part of your lyrics I'd love to just finish up with that I kind of wanted to ask, and I may be thinking into it too much. You know what I mean? You're
I love
like,
it.
is that what that means? It's your part of your lyrics. You say you talk a big game, it's sweet, but you know your power three piece. So while you go finish that line, know that I'll sleep well tonight. First of all, power three piece, does that mean anything in particular? Like a power suit or something? Or
it literally means a man in a suit. It means gatekeepers, men wearing a suit. That's kind of what I think. It's a little bit of a Urban Dictionary type Google, but three piece, yes.
I like that. And when you say finish that line, I was like, line, does that mean like drugs or something else? Yeah. Or like, I'm like, okay, good. I was right.
Yeah. Lots and lots of alcohol and drugs in the music industry. And I'm very proud to say that I've never done a single drug in my life other than the very, we'll go natural kind. So yeah, and I've really tried really, really hard to stay away from it because I have suffered with depression. So it's quite easy to have been tempted by those kinds of things, but it wasn't me. It wasn't my personality. It didn't make sense to me. And so I think that was just a bit of a dig at like, none of you are sober anyway. You don't even know what you're talking about. And this is all a little bit crazy. So yeah. Again,
you're just effing up your life by doing it, right?
Yeah. And look, I'm not going to judge people for doing what they want to do, but it's just like, this is how I really feel about it. And I'm going to put it in my song. So
yeah, you're going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep great. And they probably will too, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, but you'll actually wake up feeling good in the morning and sober.
Exactly. I'll go to my Pilates class and be like, yeah, I am awake and I am present.
Yep. High on life. That's what you need. High on life. That's how my dad phrases it. He don't
exactly. Me and your dad would get along. Yes.
Yes. And you and I, obviously.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you've covered a lot of deep topics in your songs now, and they're all topics, you know, us women all think about, and it needs to be said, as we mentioned. But what's next? You know, do you ever run out of ideas? That would be the thing I'd be afraid of. Like, what do I do next?
It's so funny that you say that because I'm kind of at a point where I I don't want to take a break, but I'm definitely like not sure which song to pick next. Like I'm kind of feeling a bit like, do I want to chill a little bit on the challenging things and just kind of like release a love song, or do I want to,
Summer anthem, woo! Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Where do I want to go? And I mean, I battle with that every single time I finish up a song. I always have the next one lined up, but I'm like, do I want to do that? Is that too much too soon? So at the moment, I'm sitting on a few and I'm not sure. Just to be completely transparent, I don't know.
Put them all in a hat and pick it out.
Yeah, pick it out or let somebody else choose. I don't know. Yeah.
Let the fans choose.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's it. I'm full of them. Just come to me.
I will.
Thank you.
Oh, we're here.
Well, make sure you keep in contact, all right, for any future projects. I want to hear about it. When I was doing my research on you too, because obviously I did my research on you back in 2020 when we first had an interview, but I was thinking, what else can I add to this interview today? I was kind of looking on the other side of your music career that, you do write songs and you've been a top liner for other artists. See, busy lady, I wasn't kidding, guys. And you've even started focusing on writing in other international markets, like Korea, Japan, and China. Where do you even start having other people find you and like want to sing your tracks? It's a side of the industry like I haven't interviewed anybody about and I know nothing about. So I'm sure a lot of people would like to know this too.
Yeah, fair enough. That was a kind of weird one for me. I actually released a song, maybe 2016 or something like that. It was called Closing In, and it's got a very odd sort of like little riff, and it's got really odd sounds. Anyway, the point is, a guy who works in the Korean market, K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, sort of hit me up out of the blue. I think it was on Facebook back then, or maybe email, I can't remember. And he was like, have you ever written K-pop? Because this is so K-pop, like sell this song to us, basically. I didn't, but essentially he spent years and years training me up. And when I say train, I mean there's a lot to know about K-pop. There's a lot to know about the Asian market in general. It's so different from Western music. And it's very, very complicated, intricate, and I don't know, it's actually very hard. People think that they can just pitch a song and it's a great song sort of work. There's a verse, then there's a pre-chorus, and there's a chorus, then there's a rap, then there's a dance breakdown, then there's a verse, then it's really odd. Wow. So anyway, I spent years and years writing K-pop songs. Like I literally mean like 5 years. And then I got a couple of cuts. And once you get a cut is when somebody takes a song and releases it. Once you get one, you kind of get more and more. I haven't had a ton, but I've had enough, and it's been really cool. And yeah, I
make the music, I'm guessing, because you don't know Korean, do you? On top of all that.
That's the thing. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for Western English speaking writers, because they have their people in whether it's Korea or Japan or China. They have their people that can do their end of things, but they want the Western writers. And what happens is we send the song as is in English, and then they actually translate, which is kind of bizarre, but they translate back into their language, and they kind of keep the buzzwords from the Western lyrics, like maybe it's baby or love or those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Or they have 2 versions. It's so interesting. It's really fun, and I write them in like 15 minutes because they're just so fun.
And they get to be a little bit more like party music, right?
Just like, it's almost ridiculous to me, like, because I write such dark, like super, super, like, heavy things. And then I'm like speaking about lollipops and whatever. It's hilarious, but I love it. I love it.
I thought you were just going to say love or something like that. No, lollipops.
I think there's literally one that, got released called Sweater. And it's about anyway, you'll have to go Google it, but it's funny.
Okay, I will. That sounds hilarious.
It is.
And what particularly is like a top liner, for those who don't know?
Yeah, so a top liner is basically just someone who writes the melody and the lyrics. So the top line is the melody and the lyrics. Then you've got the production, which is the music side of it. So when I say I'm a top liner for other artists, it means I've come into a studio session and I'm there to help them write the lyrics and write the melodies. And then there's usually another producer in the room who is writing all the chords and doing all the music, basically. Yeah.
That is awesome. And are those people just found you just because of your other songs that you've done?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do a lot of that kind of stuff. It's actually kind of how I built my career. Like I reached out to a lot of DJs and a lot of dance music producers, and gosh, I'm trying to think like that I guess that's how I got my start writing for other people. Then I put my own music out, and then from there, people kind of just get to know my music and they go, oh, can you, like, do you write for other people? Can you write a song like your song but for me? And I'm like, hell yeah. So that's kind of how that happens. But I've been doing it for a long time. So I think at this point, at least in Sydney, people know what I can do, like what my thing is. And if they want that, then they can come to me. Like, I'm not going to write a super happy love song because that's not really the gal I am.
Yeah. You've created your own opportunities, though. I love that. You actually went out and made those contacts. You don't do that in the entertainment industry. Otherwise, it's going to take a long time for them even to find out who you are, right?
Well, for sure. Yeah, you got to get out there. I email people, like, I've definitely done a lot of pitching, self-pitching for sure, but a lot of it has just come from continuous opportunities that build on and on,
Yeah, absolutely. Same in the interview game. Like, why would anybody want to come on the show without me introducing myself first? So
exactly. Yeah.
I love that. Oh, well, good luck. Hopefully you got some more coming up.
I do, actually.
Yes. And is there anything else we can expect in the future from you as well, Sammi? Anything you'd like to plug?
Well, I'm hoping to put on just a lot more shows. I'm just kind of waiting for the right time, honestly. And, the market is very expensive right now to be in. So that's the only thing really kind of holding me back there. But I really do plan to get to Brisbane and Melbourne and maybe one day Perth if the airfares get down a little bit, because it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know, just lots more music and hopefully some more shows. Yeah.
Great. I can't wait to finally see you live. So you let me know. Yes, I still have.
Where are you again? I forget.
Sydney. We're in the same place.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm playing a show in November, so look out for it.
Okay, yeah. Send me the dates and I'll have a little look. Yeah, I'll bring someone along.
That'd be so fun.
But we're in Sydney. I was like, we gotta have a coffee one time or something.
Absolutely.
I think we'd get along even better than we do right now on an interview.
100%. I'll buy you the coffee.
Oh, no, it's all good. Oh, just means we got to do 2 different lots of coffee. That's what it is. Yep.
Done.
Speaking of having fun, would you like to play this awesome legendary game with me today?
Of course.
Yes. So from memory, I don't think we played it the very first time you're on the show because we're over the phone. So I think we just did the interview. It's a legendary game here on Rave It Up. It's called the 2-minute hot seat. And what I do is I ask you various questions. You just have to pick your preference. So it's like dogs or cats, or singing or dancing. And you have to answer as many questions in 2 minutes as possible.
Hey, I'm stressed. I'm sweating.
I'll see where you sit on the leaderboard up against everyone else.
Okay. All right. I'm excited.
Up against 177 people.
That's so impressive.
It's a long time I've done this. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm pretty terrible under pressure, but let's do it.
You just got to be a quick decision maker, pretty much.
Well, I'm a Libra, so that's not going to happen, but we'll see how we go.
Either way, it's a good way for everyone to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right. Let me get my list out and the stopwatch is ready. Okay, here we go. You ready, Sammi?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Instagram or YouTube?
YouTube.
Pop or country music?
Pop.
Cook or clean?
Clean.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Comedy or action?
Comedy.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Book or e-reader?
Book.
Home cooking or dining out?
Dining out.
Bottomless bowl or bottomless drink?
Ooh. Bowl.
Singing or dancing?
Oh. Oh no, singing.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Italian or Chinese food?
Italian.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Jennifer Lopez or Scarlett Johansson?
Jennifer.
Johnny Depp or Will Smith?
Oh, Johnny Depp.
Shop in-store or online?
In-store.
Cinema or home movie?
Home movie.
Ice cream or gelato?
Gelato.
Cake or cookies?
Oh, cookies.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Christmas or your birthday?
Birthday.
Night or day?
Day.
Bus or train?
Neither.
Talk to the dead or see the future?
Talk to the dead.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Eye color, blue or brown?
Blue.
Driver or passenger?
Driver.
Texting or calling?
All calling.
Sydney or Melbourne?
Sydney.
Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Fiction or non-fiction books?
Fiction.
Snow or surf?
Surf.
Freeze time or time travel?
Ooh, time travel.
Burger or pizza?
Burger.
Tomato sauce or barbecue sauce?
Tomato.
Wine or beer?
Neither.
Leather or denim?
Leather.
City or country?
Ooh, country.
Biting your nails or picking your nose?
Picking your nose.
Pants or shorts?
Shorts.
And tattoos or piercings?
Both.
Backpack or suitcase?
Suitcase.
Ice cream or chocolate?
Ice cream.
Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Mum or dad?
Oh, Mum.
Headphones or speakers?
Ooh, headphones.
And we're out of time.
Oh, I was so stressed.
I always get everyone on mum and dad. They're like, what? Why would you ask me that?
Okay, but the only reason I said mum is because she literally grew me for 9 months and then had to birth me. And you know, we cannot go past mum for that one. Let's be very real.
We love our mums.
We have to. We have to. You know, dad just had a, you know,
A
he
good
had
time.
a moment. He had a moment and then he's done, you know?
And then 18 years of growing you. Yeah, raising you.
Yeah, maybe.
How many questions do you think you answered in that time?
Wait, how many questions were there?
I got so many. I got like 128 questions.
Oh, maybe only like 30.
Just in case anybody does more. Well, I'm happy to say you've done way more than that. Yeah.
50?
You've answered, very close, 49 questions. And you're sitting, let me have a look, on the leaderboard, 45. You were sitting at a Zoom interviews, number 15.
Look, that is not bad. I'm quite proud.
177 people, so
Wow.
yeah. And in person, like, you can even go faster as well. So maybe we've got to do it again in person.
I like it. Let's do it. There was definitely some stressful ones in there that that was a lot.
Either way, your fans get to know you better.
That's it. I do regret some of my decisions though, but that's okay.
That's all right. You can say I love both.
Exactly.
I'll say it for every question though.
Yeah, true.
Well, we are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview now, Sammi. It's been a lot of fun and we've gotten to know you so well. But as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question here on Rave It Up, a little bit more serious now, and I don't know if I asked you this last time you were on the show, but who knows, your answer may have changed. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
I love this question. I think I would tell her that it's worth sticking with it. And that could be anything. That could be life. Because it does get better and nothing, or rather everything, is temporary. That's what I would say. And I mean that with so much love to my 14-year-old self. Oh my gosh.
That is so cute. I know, I get emotional with that question too. Thinking about how I was at 14. I'm like, oh, you little girl.
Oh, she knew nothing. Oh,
she knew nothing. I was the shyest person at 14 too. I'm like, come on, be more confident. You can do it.
Look at you now. You're on Zoom with a stranger, kind of.
Sort of.
Sort of.
We met on the phone 3 years ago.
We're Instagram friends.
Yeah.
And my dog says, hello, I'd like you to pay attention to me. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. We're about to finish up. If our audience want to contact you, Sammi, or find out what you're up to in the future, where should we go follow you?
Well, you can pretty much find me anywhere on the internet. I was going to say internet. It's just Sammi Constantine.
On
the line. It's just Sammi with SAMMI, just to be annoying. But yeah, and I'd love to hear from people. So please message me, please reach out. I will likely respond because I like to talk to you guys. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. And we appreciate that. Thank you for messaging me. Thank you for coming on as well.
For
a time.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome on any time, okay? You know that, Sammi. You just consider it your second home. I can't wait to hear about your next song and your next shows.
Thank you so much. You're so sweet.
Oh, we always have so much fun. So, as I said, now that we both know we're in Sydney, we'll catch up. I'll message you.
Great. Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome. Well, I hope you all enjoyed today's interview. If you'd like to check out any of our other interviews, please visit our website, raveituptv.com. All the podcasts and videos are there for you to enjoy. And if you would like to live a life that you can rave about, just like Sammi, while you're there, please also check out our life courses and also our books. One of my books is right behind me, Knowing What I Know Now, as well as a mini ebook up there called Staying Strong, Finding Inner Peace During Hard Times. Thank you so much for watching today, though, and we'll see you next time. Bye!